Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 27th of December, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe on couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us well into the first half of January. I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just say that's been a busy day at GavsWeatherVids today. All the content's come back, as I'm feeling quite a lot better. So we started with the 6am UK weather forecast. We released the final extended European outlook of the year, and we also released the 11th instalment of the Christmas countdown as well. So please check out those 3 bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. I've got to say hello and thank you so much for your donation to David Bulleton. Thank you so much, David, for your donation to GavsWeatherVids. And hello and a Merry Christmas to you. David wants me to say hello and Merry Christmas to his partner Dylan. So hello to Dylan and Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you so much to David for the donation to GavsWeatherVids. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, David, and Merry Christmas to Dylan as well. If you'd like to give a donation to GavsWeatherVids, get a shout out in the videos leading up to Christmas, get a Merry Christmas maybe from Gav, then all you need to do is come to the GavsWeatherVids PayPal page. You can find a link in the description of the video, sign into your PayPal account, give whatever donation you want to GavsWeatherVids, and we shall give you a mention and shout out in the videos. Thank you so much everybody for doing that, and thank you so much to David, and thank you so much to Dylan. Merry Christmas to both of you. Hope you have a lovely Christmas. Right, okay, let's start off with the video there. We're going to begin with the central in temperature. The CT is currently sitting at 7 degrees, a nice round 7.0. That's 2.5 degrees above the 61 to 1990 average, and that is provisional to yesterday, the 16th of December. Very mild first half to the month, and that is set to continue for the next foreseeable future, next few days anyway. Generally I think this the CT for December is either going to be coming in the 6s or the 7s. Remains to be seen exactly how mild the month is, but it is certainly going to be yet another very mild December. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks on Edinburgh today. Hello to all of our Scottish viewers. Hope you are getting yourselves ready for Christmas. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Edinburgh. We are significantly above average at the moment. We will actually see the upper air temperatures coming down through the second half of this week and into the weekend. And then it turns very mild over Christmas, with the upper air temperatures lifting up, or perhaps dropping backwards again, heading towards the new year. The thick green line is the GFS midnight operational run. You see that was exceptionally mild over and just after Christmas, but does become a bit of a cold outlier later on. Now it brings down some quite cold air from the north. Not a great deal of support from other GFS ensemble members for that scenario, although we do see a bit of a cooling trend as the white line is reverting back closer to the long-term 30-year average, but it's all such a long way off that it isn't really worth paying a lot of attention to anyway. Precipitation-wise, looking relatively dry. I mean, it's not being completely dry. It is the middle of winter, so there will be some wet weather at times, but overall, that's a relatively dryish ensemble graph, I think. To be honest, for the next couple of weeks. Temperature anomaly is from the 17th, 25th of December. That'd be milder than average again. And precipitation anomalies from the 17th, 25th of December. Most areas average or drier than normal, but it is a little bit wetter than average through the western portion of Scotland there. Okay, well, the latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure in the Atlantic. 2 areas of low, actually one just here and another one just down there. So this is the low that's pushing through today. This secondary low will be bringing a real soaking potentially to England and Wales tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. winds are up from the south bow, so it is very, very mild. If we drag the map a little bit further that way, you can see that the air is actually pushing up from the Canary Islands up the western side. But Europe, there's the Canaries just there. Hello to anybody watching us from the Canaries. I don't know if there is or not, but if there is, hello. Yeah, so the air is pushing a long way northwards from the south, and so we are going to be in some very, very mild weather, particularly tonight, actually, and tomorrow morning, where temperatures will be hovering close to a mid-teens Celsius across some parts of the country. Goodness gracious me. Right, well, let's go through the chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro run. Looking big night on Friday. High pressure south, low pressure north, bringing in a flat westerly flow from off the Atlantic into the weekend. Looking rather wet and windy. Becoming a bit colder as well as winds go more towards a northwesterly direction. Actually shifting round to the north very briefly at the start of next week. But by Christmas Eve, the mild southwesterlies are coming back in as ever. So that's as far as we get to with the UK Met Euro run. We've got high pressure to the west of Portugal and Spain. We're drawing up wind from a long way in the Atlantic. And we're looking very, very mild there. Okay, Icon, again, bringing a flat westerly flow for Friday. A bit wet and windy through Saturday to Sunday, and turning a bit cooler or cold as well, temporarily, as winds shifting to the north at the start of next week. But by Christmas Eve, a warm front will push across the country, lifting up the temperature. And by midday on Christmas Eve, we're back into those very mild southwesterly winds again. The KMA, all much of a muchness, a little bit on the unsettled side, well, very unsettled actually, into the weekend, a bit colder, very briefly as well. But heading into Christmas, we draw up the Azores high, bring some very mild air up with it. And that high pressure then looks like it's sticking around as we go between Christmas and the New Year. A lot of dry weather, mild weather too. Due to the longevity of high pressure, it might start getting a bit colder underneath high. We might start generating a bit of frost and fall. But fundamentally, again, that remains a milder ridge. That's as far as we get to the KMA, the 29th of December. Now, this is that GFS midnight run. If you see the Christmas update, you'll know how this works out. So, again, looking rather cool or quite cold at the beginning of next week. Only very briefly, though. And then up comes those very mild southwesterly winds for Christmas. High pressure then really takes over between Christmas and the New Year. That's day 10, 27th of December. We're high and dry and bringing some slightly cooler air patch from off the continent as well. And then the high pressure begins to go into retrograde and starts heading up towards Greenland and Iceland, with much colder air beginning to push southwards then, just before the New Year, from the north and from the northeast. By 10 cells isotherm plunging southwards into Scotland. That's New Year's Eve on the GFS midnight run with a cold northeasterly. Minus 10 cells isotherm is pushed always southwards into Ireland, England and Wales. Bitterly cold end to the year. There will be snow showers with that. New Year's Day looking bitterly cold as well. That's midnight New Year's Day. Bitter cold New Year Eve to New Year Day, with snow showers probable in the north and in the east as well. And we keep it cold into the second day of January as well, with high pressure again centred to the west, and bring down those cold northern winds. So actually most parts of Europe are plunged into a freezer there as well. Remember, that was a bit of a cold outlier late on. This is the GFS 6 there. Once more flat as a pancake for Friday, with high pressure south or low pressure north, bringing in those west winds. Rather wet and windy as we go into the weekend of Saturday and Sunday. We have high pressure building up from the southwest as we go to Christmas. That's Christmas Eve, looking very mild. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, looking very mild as well. High pressure over France, low pressure around Iceland. The winds coming up from the Azores. And so, you know, as we said yesterday, there's a potential for record-breaking mild Christmas Day. We've perhaps backed off that slightly today, but it's going to be a very mild Christmas Day regardless. That's Boxing Day. Again, a high and dry with that area of high pressure in control. In the extended range, high pressure begins to weaken, low pressure trying to come in from off the Atlantic. No retrograde of high pressure, no Greenland high on this GFS run. We just turn more unsettled, but keep it milder as we head into the new year. So it really looks as though that GFS midnight run was, you know, a one-off. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Make sure everyone for doing that. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this on all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe too. And we thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. We need to put around three subscribers. I'm so sorry, everyone. We've got around 3 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.2k. We are so close to 19.2k. We've got to crack this today. Surely we've got to crack it. Will we crack it? I wonder. But anyway, please give us a sub. Tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for doing that. We're a week before Christmas Eve. Goodness gracious me. And I've barely done any Christmas shopping yet. I better crack on, hadn't I? GM, again, with high pressure south and low pressure north, bringing that flat westerly flow for Friday into the weekend. Wet and windy and a bit cold as well, with winds shifting from the northwest into a very brief transient northerly. But we're back into the southwesterlies again with Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, southwesterly winds, very mild. Probably very cloudy Christmas, I think, with this, unfortunately, although there could be sunshine to the east of high ground. But to me, that sort of suggests very cloudy, very mild, very claggy sort of Christmas. And then we get towards Boxing Day, and just beyond it, 27th of December, and we're still really fundamentally in a mild or a very mild pattern, with that continental high pressure remaining to the south and drawing up those southwesterly winds. So sorry everyone, and then the ECM looks like that. High pressure south, low pressure north, flat pancake for Friday into weekend. Wet and windy, rather cold northwesterly winds. Sunday shifting around more towards the north as we go through to Monday, and then we're back into those southwesterlies again, heading into Tuesday. That's Wednesday. High pressure south, low pressure north. Up comes those southwesterlies on Christmas Day. It'll be ECM, very mild Christmas Day there. High pressure builds further northwards into Boxing Day, still very mild under that area of high pressure, and that's day 10. High pressure then is over Germany, we've got low pressure over Iceland, and we still continue to drag up those southwest. It gets a bit more interesting extended with this ECM operational run as we start to try and draw down some colder air from the north with this ECM run as well. We're a long way out now, 3rd of December, but we're trying to build some higher pressure towards Iceland to Greenland and send low pressure over to Norway. Cold air is lurking just to the north, actually started to push southwards into Scotland. Otherwise, we're generally mild with the upper air temperatures. New Year's Eve looks quite cold, and some of those battle lines drawn a little bit, with milder air to southwest, colder air trying to establish over and to the north of the country. And then this low pressure comes in from off the Atlantic. Cold air goes into retreat then into New Year's Day as the milder air comes in from the west and probably brings in quite a lot of heavy rain. So that would imply a very wet New Year. But potentially with a bit of snow up in the north as that mild air bumps into the cold air, and does have a bit of a hint of battle lines being drawn, I have to say. But, you know, fundamentally the problem is, the issue is the heights don't lower to the south. So if I very quickly go back, so it's really at this point where the cold air is trying to come southwards and a ridge is trying to get going up here. Got low pressure there and very cold air trying to head in from the north. But the problem is, as always, well, very often in the modern winters, the heights to the south don't lower. So if the heights deflated around Spain, Portugal and the Med, then we would open the door to the northerly. But because the heights don't deflate, the heights remain high, we keep the high going down to south. Eventually all that happens is that the cold air goes into retreat and the milder air pushes northeastwards. But it's a little bit more interesting in the extended with that ECM operational run. Right, let's just have a quick look at the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run up to day 10. We don't get those more interesting extended charts at Meteo, unfortunately. We stop at day 10. Now, some very wet weather coming up tomorrow, as I say, across England and Wales. That'll push through, and then we're into those showery northwesterly winds. More rain into the end of the week and the weekend, especially in north and west. Cold on Sunday with wintry showers into the north and the west. One or two of those might even trickle a little bit further southwards. But then we're back into those mild winds for Christmas, so any precipitation turns back to rain, and most of it is in the north. Then we're mostly dry as we get to day 10, which is the 27th of December, before things get more interesting heading to the new year. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 27th of December. 25 members of the ECM ensembles, including the control and the operational room, with high pressure across much of Europe, and we're drawing up those mild southwesterly winds as well. 15, again, very similar, drawing in those mild southwesterlies, and 11 high pressure right over top of the coast. That might be a bit more towards frost and fog, I guess, especially in the south. But overall, all options look anticyclonic, they all look mild. They're just after Christmas. In 2 weeks' time, though, quite interesting. These are the options that we've got. Gets us, or this is the option that I've got, given that it's only one of them. Gets us to New Year's Day, 2025. And 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles do in fact build up a mid-Atlantic ridge and push it towards Greenland with a trough over Scandinavia. So that will try and bring down a cold northerly. The issue is the heights that you just about make out to the south there. That will try and keep the mild weather going. But there is, you know, maybe a bit of a hint here of things getting colder for the new year. So we have a mild Christmas. We might get a colder new year. I'll have to wait and see about that. But there's a slight hint, I suppose. You could put the ECM operational together with that GFS midnight operational and the ECM ensembles. There might be a little bit of a hint here of something a bit colder for New Year, but I don't want people getting excited because this is all a very, very, very long way out, and it all looks rather flimsy till we start seeing convincing evidence of those heights lowering to the south. Right, finally the CFS, and then we're done. These are 500 millibar heights. I'll just break it down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to 23rd of December. The next week looking unset with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and we continue to bring in those westerly winds. Week 2 will be the 24th of December, Christmas Eve, to the 30th of December. Again, low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and still bringing in those westerlies. Week 3 will be the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, to 6th of January. Heights been trying to pull out to the west, but still relatively high, pretty much west of Europe as well. You know, again, there might be a little bit of a hint there of something slightly colder just after the New Year. However, week 4 is going to be the 7th to the 13th of January under the area of high pressure. That could bring frost and fog, but it's quite centrally located over the country, but it's still fundamentally a mild pattern because we've got low pressure to the north, but jet stream probably up here, so that'd be like, you know, if it did get cold and that high pressure would be an inversion, that kind of thing. There's no evidence of any proper high latitude and or northern blocking there up towards the middle of January. But that's a long way off, so we shall see, and time as ever will tell. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this, all of our videos and content and whatnot. And thanks so much, everyone, for doing that. Again, remember, only 3 subscribers to get ourselves to 19.2k, so if you could give us a sub, that'd be absolutely awesome. Right, tomorrow we're going to have a 6 AM UK weather forecast. We will have the latest episode of StratWatch. They will bring you update with all stratospheric developments, and we'll have a look at a past winter as well from a stratospheric point of view. And then we'll be live at 6 PM. I think we'll be able to do a full hour-long live stream, so we'll have a nice chat. We'll I would have thought I have a nice chat anyway, hopefully. And we'll do a 10 to 14 day on the live stream as well. I shall see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. for that. But for this one, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And bye for now.